Hello, my name is Adrian Garcia. I'm the Technical Services Manager for ACTi. I'm based in Irvine, California, and today I want to thank you for joining our webinar session for more client introductions. So let me give you a quick walkthrough on our agenda. We'll start by giving you an introduction and brief overview of our company. For those who are unfamiliar with our brand, we'll be giving you a little bit more on the background of our company and the licensing model for the product that we're going to be reviewing today. Then we'll jump ahead into the mobile client introduction. We'll take a look at the overview, what devices are supported. We'll also have a live demo today for our mobile client app on iOS. So I'll be using my iPad to show you how everything works. And then we'll go ahead and take a quick look at our summary and what it's like working with ACTi, some of our tools in our website. And then we'll have a short Q&A section in which we'll address any questions you might have during our presentation. So today with me, we also have our panelists, Joe Hudak, Joe McCarthy, and Gary Clark. So I'll go ahead and let them introduce themselves and give you a little bit of background of our company. Joe? Can you hear me?
Sorry about that. Thanks, Adrian. Can you hear me?
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This is actually one of my, I find this webinar to be one of the more interesting ones. I find it safe to assume that most of you that are on this call to learn about the mobile app probably already have some experience or some familiarity with our VMS software and our NVR platform. You'll see this is a great tool that will go along with that, which will actually allow you to take your system and make sure you're optimizing it and using it to its fullest extent. The feedback that I've gotten from my integrators and my end users is that our mobile app is the best that they've used on the market, the easiest to use with the most functionality. So sit back and enjoy. I think you'll like this one.
All right. Thank you, Joe. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started and talk a little bit about our unified solution. As you're probably familiarized with our ecosystem, ACTi develops in-house its own cameras, NVRs. Depending on the scale, it can go between 4 to 256 channels, our own central management system. And then we do have different types of clients to connect to those NVRs and central management systems. And finally, we have the mobile client app, which is kind of like what connects everything from your mobile device. So our mobile app, it's supported on every device, basically, that we do have in our company. So it's a universal app for all active products. That means no matter if you're using a ZNR, a GNR, INR, just the software of NVR3 Corporate, Enterprise, you'll be able to use the app to connect to all of them. There is no licensing for the app. There's no limit in how many clients you can connect with. So that's actually a really great feature because there are other solutions out there that they do put a limit or charge additionally for this product. Ours is, like Joe mentioned, one of the most competitive, if not the best application that is out there for VMS systems. And on top of that, it's at no cost. So it's really a great opportunity for you to learn more about this today. The licenses for our cameras and our CMS are a one-time purchase. In case it's your first time working with our VMS, there's no annual or recurrent fees, no upgrade fees, no SUP packages, no support fees. So on top of just having that benefit for your VMS licenses, you get the app on top of that. So let's go ahead and just jump directly into learning more about the app. So we'll talk about two different types of scenarios in which you can be using the app. One is maybe someone on the management level, and you are maybe the owner of a retail chain. you can have maybe multiple locations across your state or across your country. And then you might want to learn where the locations of your cameras are at, what's actually happening in real time. Might want to go into playback and look for previous events. You might also want to be able to push information back to your central dispatch center, and even write down information on bookmarks from what you've seen in your notifications. If you're a security staff, or maybe you work for a dispatch center, private security, police, law enforcement, doesn't matter. You might be in charge of a school or a university campus, and you might want to receive real-time alerts if there's an emergency, no matter if it's active shooting situation, or maybe it's just a fire alarm, a fight in campus. Doesn't matter. You can receive notifications real-time on your smartphone. You will be able to see live view, video, and playback. You'll be able to actually push video from your device into the NVR3 as a regular channel. That's actually a very popular feature, and I'll be showing how that works in just a few minutes. You can use it as an intercom device, which means you can use two-way audio communication between a camera and your mobile client app, and also have the capabilities of using the phone trigger digital output. That could be an alarm signal, that could be another type of device, it could be opening a door. So anything that really can be connected through a relay, you will be able to trigger with digital output. So let's take a look at some of the features of the mobile client app. First of all, you have the live view capabilities. You will be able to stream up to 6 channels at once, and all of your views you've had created on your NVR or your CMS, there will be available for you to see them. It will split them in 6 channel views. So if you have view with 25 channels, it will just go ahead and create 5 different layouts with 6 channels each. Then the streaming is actually intelligent, so it's actually going to be a much lower bandwidth and bitrate than if you were just regularly streaming your cameras. That's to make it more efficient for mobile devices and to reduce the processing and bandwidth use. And automatic, this is going to be automatic, so there's really no settings you need to take care of. You will be able to trigger events. So even if you have digital inputs, outputs, you will be able to control them, and you'll also see motion detection activity on the live view page. On playback, you will be able to do a lot of different types of search. You'll be able to use your timeline search. That's going to be for a single channel. We do not have the synchronized playback, but you do get access to event search. So if you're trying to look for events such as motion, video status, network status, even analytics, you'll be able to find events based on that. You'll get the results displayed in the form of thumbnails or a list. And then you will be able to go ahead and just take a look at all of the different events from your search results. I'll show you in a bit how that works. If you do find something of interest, you will be able to create bookmarks, which is a really good feature, because if you do see something of interest and you need your security staff to review it later on, you can go ahead and create a bookmark on your smartphone, and then they will be able to go ahead and follow up with that. So it's a really easy process. Just like our VMS, the mobile client app has been designed from the ground with end users' feedback and into consideration to make learning curve close to zero. So it's very intuitive and easy to use. You will be able to search for bookmarks as well. So if, for example, your security team tells you that there is an event of interest and you need to look for it, you can go ahead and look at it in the form of a bookmark, and that way you will be able to review it even if you're on the go. So no matter if you're out of office, you're at home, or whatever you are, you will be able to access this information. You also have access to emaps, which means you will be able to use all the same emaps that had been created on the NVR or on the CMS. You will be able to access those, and you will be able to tap the cameras just like when you do it on the computer. So that's another great feature, because you have still the same navigation mechanisms that you've used in the past as well. through the workstation client or the IE client, you'll have those on the mobile app. We do support Google Maps. So if you have already spent some time putting coordinates for your NVRs or your cameras, or if you're using your MNRs, which are the mobile transportation devices, you will be able to see real time where those devices are located at by using the Google Maps feature. I'll show you as well how it works. It's really straightforward. Once you put on the coordinates, you'll be able to display everything on your map. All right, so we also have the capabilities of doing the two-way audio talk. By default, whenever you open a channel, it's going to play sound coming from the camera, and if you want to talk back, we do have the capability of you pressing the microphone or the line out button, so that way you will be able to talk back to the camera if it has a speaker connected to it. We do have a couple of cameras that have two-way audio built in the camera itself, so work as an intercom device, so you can use the mobile app that way. We also support push notifications, which means you're able to receive notifications on your smartphone as the real-time events actually occur. So you'll be able to program on your NVR if you want to receive a notification in case there's vehicle detection or there's an alarm signal that got triggered by your door contact. And then you connect that to your camera, that connects to the NVR, and then the NVR sends a notification to your smartphone. Then you'll be able to validate real time if the event is actually valid or not. The notification system, currently it is a licensed feature. That's the only licensed feature that we do have on our mobile app. However, we're close to discontinue that paid service. So in the future, you will be able to receive this for free. So I won't be giving information about the service for the mobile app in this presentation, just because again it's going to be discontinued soon. But if you do require immediate access, feel free to reach out to any of my colleagues or myself, and we can give you more information on how to order it if you need it right away. So the way it works, as I mentioned with the notification service, in case you have an event, the camera itself can actually send events directly to the notification server or via the NVR, and then the notification server goes and sends this to your smartphone. The smartphone app, then you will be able to see the notification just like you do with any other notification system that you get, like your messages. If you get a missed call or a new email, you get a notification for those. Same way it's going to display for the mobile client app notifications. Another thing worth mentioning is that our app is supported for both Android and iOS, which means that no matter if you have a Samsung tablet or phone, if you have an iPad, an iPhone, you will be able to use the mobile app on all of those devices. The app is available on Google Play Store and Apple's App Store. Now, if you do also have a dispatch or control center and you have a PV wall that you've created, you also have the capabilities of using the mobile app to control that TV wall. So you'll be able to push events from the camera into the TV wall. So that's another excellent feature because you'll be able, if you're on the field, you will be able to let your users know that there's something of interest by pushing that content into your TV wall. Similarly, you are actually having the capability of using the camera from your smartphone to push video into any of the channels of the NVR. So you'll be able to record everything just like if it was another camera on the system, and that makes it really useful because that way you'll be able to fill dead spots that you might have on your surveillance system. So anything that you really want to be able to show other people and record it, you will be able to stream it from your phone. As long as you have internet connectivity or Wi-Fi connectivity to your local network, you'll be able to go ahead and stream. So I'll show that in a bit how it works as well. And the final feature I want to show you today is going to be the capability of triggering network digital input and outputs. So no matter if you're using an external network DIO device that we do have, You can also use it with the camera's built-in digital input and outputs. So you'll be able to control them from the NVR itself and, from the mobile client itself, and you'll be able to see what the status is for those as well. So that works on both live view and playback. So I know I mentioned a lot of features. I hope I'm not going too fast, but I will be explaining those in more detail as I go through the live demo. I just wanted to give you first an idea of what features we will be presenting, and just to summarize some of the applications that can be achieved with the mobile client app. You can do an intercom device by having two-way audio communication between a camera and the mobile client app. You can use this for security staff to push video from their phones into an NVR and record it and actually see it real time. You'll be able to also push a specific camera channel into a TV wall. And of course, you have access to all of your channels and EMAPs, no matter if you're using your cameras, your standalone NVRs, that includes all of our different series, and then also our NVR3 Enterprise, Corporate, and the standalone NVRs that support it, and Essential Management System. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to post them on the Q&A chat section, and I'll be happy to address them at the end of this session. So I'll go now and start working on showing you our live demo. So today, I'll be connecting to our NVR3 server on the cloud. This is a demo site I've been using in past webinars. If you've been following our webinars in the past few weeks, you might be familiarized with that demo site. So I'll be using the same demo site, which means that you can actually connect with your mobile phone as well if you want to try it out. So today I'll be showing a little bit on the web client on how you can connect and do all of the configurations for the mobile app. And at the same time, I'll be using my iPad to connect and show you. So this is the information when this webinar recording and the slides will be available for you to access later on our website. So I'll show you how to get that information from our Learning Center. So let me go ahead and bring it up to the screen. So let's go ahead and take a look at our mobile client app. So here I have my iPad already open. So let's go ahead and take a look at our app. I do have a demo site already added, but let me show you first how it works adding a new site. So basically, you just need to type in basic information such as the name that you want to put on the site, the IP address or domain name, the port of your server, and your credentials. So it's really easy. I do recommend using dedicated credentials. So for example, for my user, I will be using something like Adrian.Garcia, and that's just because it's going to make it a lot easier to manage. As I'll be showing you later on, you can control which features of the mobile client app you can use between users. So it does make a lot of sense for you to have dedicated users. So you will also be able to see what version of the app I'm currently using. Make sure that you do get regular updates on your settings on your device. And then you will be able to go ahead and either take a look at the map section here. So you can see all of your different sites on per geographic location. So in this case, I can go ahead and take a look at the map here and see what site I have. In this case, I have this demo site. I can go ahead and tap on it, and it's going to show me all of my different views and cameras. So if I want to navigate it this way, I can certainly do so. So let me go ahead and find a view that I want to show you. So let's say that I want to show you our EMAP. Now I should be able to, what happened here? Let me see. Let me go back. So let me show you our EMAP. Our EMAP doesn't have any views. Let me try to tap that again. So I can navigate easily between cameras, and now that I found a camera that I like, I can go ahead and stream it directly. So that's the way of navigating through maps. The other way for you to navigate is just going directly into the main menu. So I can go ahead and change this navigation from map to list. Now I can go ahead and take a look at my site. I will be able to see all of my different views. So my views will be sorted by name. they're not grouped into folders, so they all display all at once. And you'll see on the bottom, you have all of your cameras as well available. So let's say, for example, that I want to take a look at one of the most popular views we have. It's the Irvine US cameras. And then from here, you'll be able to go ahead and select your 6-channel layouts. You can go ahead and swipe between pages. If you have more than 6 cameras, you'll be able to select any of the cameras, tap live view. And from here, you will be able to go ahead and either use the digital zoom function. So you can go ahead and expand something further and take a look. Let me find another camera that does have PTZ capabilities. So in this camera, I can go ahead and also use the digital zoom. So I can go ahead and expand it, just enlarge and using my fingers to pinch in and pinch out. Or I can use PTZ functions, and actually I can move the camera, again, just by moving my finger around the area. So it's really easy to use PTZ functions as well from the camera, from the mobile client app as well. So from here, I can go ahead and change those controls and how they work. I will be able to start a tour as well. So if I do have any kind of tour on my, or I have preset points as well, I will be able to set those from here. So you can see how I have different preset points. I can go ahead and play around with those two. I will be able to take a screenshot. So I can go ahead and press on the camera button. And I'm sorry, I didn't realize I wasn't showing the icons right here. So let me scroll down a little bit and let me go back. Just rewind a little bit. So I was showing before how you can go ahead and use this button here on the left side. This is going to be the one you use for digital zoom. So you can go ahead and pinch in, pinch out. You can also use the other button that is going to be used for PTZ. So basically what I'm doing is kind of like just tapping with my phone and moving around like this. You have your preset points button, you have your tour button here, and the screenshot, which is the one with the camera. You'll be able to do manual recording too. Use the microphone button to start doing two-way audio communication. You'll be able to trigger digital inputs, or sorry, digital outputs. If the camera has more than one, you'll be able to select which one to use. And you can go ahead and also use these buttons, like which stream you're getting, in case you have multiple configurations. So those are the functions you have available for live view. You will be able to also access to playback, and to playback you just press that button and you should be able to start playing directly. You'll be able to adjust your timeline by tapping here on the timeline bar. And you'll be also able to change to a specific date and time. So let's say that if we want to review footage from yesterday at midnight, so I'll put something close to midnight, and the camera is going to switch to that specific view. And again, I can go ahead and start playing with the timeline here. I will be able to also search for events. So if I want to go ahead and change the timeline for my camera, I can go ahead and reduce it to 5 minutes timeline. I can go ahead and go to my real-time view. And if I tap here on the top, I'm going to navigate here a little bit. So if I tap here on the top, I will be able to do a search. And from here, you can decide if I want to use regular type of search of events, or if I want to use some of the analytics, such as license plate or facial search. So now I can go ahead and apply this to try to find anything that has analytics or some type of motion activity. I can confirm which cameras I want to look for. And let me go ahead and add something like line crossing. And now I can go ahead and search. And it's going to start showing me the results of all of the events. If I want to see them on a different layout, I can go ahead and create thumbnails as well for that. So it makes it really easy and intuitive actually for you to search from here. It almost feels like the same capabilities you have with the web client or the workstation client. Once you see an event, you can just tap on it. It's going to go real time to that particular event and timeline. You can see also how the green bars are displayed in the bottom. If you see here, this green bar that represents motion. So anything you actually get in terms of motion activity, events from analytics, or even digital inputs, you will actually be able to see them as, with the green bars here. At any point, you can decide to go back to your results. So if you want to display more results, you can go ahead and see your results here and continue to search. You can also change it between how you want to display them. So if you want to change to more results, or if you want to change it back to your list view, you can go ahead and do that too. From here, you'll be able to search as well. If you want to change which events you're showing on the time track, then you'll be able to select those. So again, there's a lot of features. It's a very complete app when it comes to live view and playback capabilities. You can search pretty much from anything on your phone or tablet. And let's go back and let me show you another interesting feature. I'm going to pick a different camera and just change views a bit. So let's go ahead and choose this one. And now what I want to show you is the capability of sending alerts. So let me go ahead and bring up my screen here with the NVR3. So let's pull the NVR3. And we're going to play a little bit between the two devices. So what I want you to see is that the NVR3, you can actually interact between the mobile app and the NVR. So how does it work? I'm going to go ahead and type in a message from the mobile app, and I'm going to send it to our administrators and security staff. So I'll find something that says security here. We should have a group. Maybe we don't, but I'll just use demo. Now I'm going to type in example. And then now I'm going to go ahead and send it. So we should receive a pop-up alert here on our mobile, on our NVR. And now I should get that event. So that means that anyone that has a workstation open, they will receive an event, and they will be able to see that notification that I put example on it. Not only that, but they will also be able to see the location of my device. So if you do have the Google Maps feature, you will be actually able to see real time where this user is located. So you'll be able to stream that information. Let's say that it's the other way around, and then you have an incident, and then, for example, there was an automatic notification sent from the VMS to the device, to the client. So in this case, I want to go ahead and send it to Adrian, my user, and I'm going to use notification from VMS to mobile client. So I'm going to type in something like this, and I should receive it here. If you see this notification here, that represents the motion, sorry, the event. And now I can go ahead and find that. Sorry about that. Let me go ahead and find that again. It's already gone. So let me go ahead and send that again. Let's try this one more time. So I'm going to send a notification. Give me 1 second. My iPad got disconnected for a bit. I should be getting it back. Okay, so I suspect my iPad connection should be back right now, but let's try something. Let me go ahead and try to reconnect one more time. I'm gonna go ahead and close it. So bear with me just for a second. There's still a couple more features I want to show you from our mobile app. So let me go ahead and reopen this as I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties.
Well, Adrian's doing that. Let me just step in and say one thing about the mobile push video app. as we do a lot of projects, what we often find is that customers want to put cameras everywhere to cover every square inch of their facility, but they often don't have the budget to do so. So one of the key things that we talk about as we're doing presentations and solutions with customers is obviously putting cameras in your priority areas and prioritize them A, B, and C, or 1, 2, 3, however you choose to call it. And then obviously add them in as your budget affords it. But with the mobile app, one of the great things that we can talk about with our customers is when you have your security staff, your teachers, your administration, your line foreman, whatever the case may be, if they have their phone with them and they have the mobile push app, you can have a camera everywhere where that person's at. And the key with that really is, and this is why it's a great tool, is yes, you do have to license that camera to the NVR, but the great thing about it is A, it gives you two-way audio to the NVR. It does give a live view to whoever's sitting at the head end. But more importantly, the evidence, the video that they're capturing at that point with the camera, it's actually pushing back to the NVR. So if for some reason their phone got taken away from them, got destroyed, the video content is not actually sitting at the phone level. It's sitting in a secure room with the NVR. So again, it's a great feature to talk about. Most mobile apps, most of the VMS companies that you talk to won't have that feature. And all it costs you is basically one license on our NVR corporate to register that camera with the system. And it really is a strong tool for a solution and also for closing a sale. So Adrian, just wanted to jump in there and give my input on that. So thanks for letting me talk. Are you ready to take back the microphone from me?
Yeah,
great.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, so that was actually a really good input from Joe when it comes to push video. I'll show that right after. Just go ahead and resume the notifications test I was about to show you when my connection got disconnected. So the way I was going to do it is just communicating this from from the VMS to the app, so I can go ahead and send a notification, and I should be able to see it here. I can tap on it, and it's automatically going to jump to that camera. So I can do it manually, or I can do it through the notification system that I have here on my event handler. So the idea is that no matter which camera you're using and what kind of event you want to be using, you can go ahead and program it so you automatically send notifications to your smartphone. So the process of configuring this is actually really straightforward. There is an initial configuration you have to do, but once you have that, all you got to do is go ahead and select an event. In this case, I can select motion detection area 2 for this camera. And if you've seen our VMS overview from previous webinars, we've talked a little bit about the event handler capabilities. So today, I only want to highlight this section here that says notification. This is where you can go ahead and select that you want to send automatically a notification to your smartphone. So you can select a specific topic. A topic can be something from regular notifications, system alerts, fire alarms, anything that you want to put as a topic or as a subject. If you want to send it to a specific user group, such as security staff, management team, reception officers, if you want to have something more specific, you can go ahead and select which users want to receive these notifications. So it's really flexible when it comes from how to do these configurations. You really have a lot of room for you to decide who you want to send it to. So let's go and now take a look at the other feature, which is the one Joe was mentioning, and that's the capability of pushing video from your smartphone to your NVR. So let me go ahead and show how that works. I'm going to go ahead and tap here on the top right corner, and then I'm going to select the feature that says push video. And now I'm going to be able to see footage from my camera. I can go ahead and select as well. If you see here on the left, I can select what type of frame rate I want to stream from. I can select also if I want a resolution higher than what I have programmed. And I can also decide if I want to send audio as well. So in this case, I'm going to remove audio just so I don't create some loopback. And now I can go ahead and select the stream button that is here on the bottom. So whenever I'm ready to stream, I can go ahead and start doing this. And at my dispatch center, I already have a configuration that allows me to automatically pop up an alert and show the location on the map as well. So I'll be able to see real time what's happening here. I can go ahead and pause it because again, I am recording. I'm able to use digital zoom, so you can see my coffee mug here, courtesy of my wife. I can go ahead and take a bookmark, take a snapshot, or create some kind of notification. And not only that, but I can also see real-time location for this iPad here. So you can see where I'm at the moment. So all of that information is metadata that the smartphone is streaming to your device, and that's happening in real time. So if later on you want access to more information, you will be able to do it from playback as well. So like Joe mentioned, this records as a regular channel. So it's just like having another camera really connected to your system. So I can go ahead and drag this camera here. I'm gonna go ahead and stop streaming for now. Note that the quality of your video really depends on the quality of your camera. So you really need to have a probably more recent device to be able to get some features such as good low light quality on the video or high resolution. But you do have those capabilities. So as you can see here, we do have the recording from my smartphone. And another point worth mentioning is about bandwidth. It really depends on the capability that you have on your Wi-Fi network, if it's local, or on your internet 4G, 5G connection. So depending on the speed you get, you will be able to get better resolution, frame rate, and so on. So when it comes to the video itself, that's kind of like what I wanted to show you when it comes to push video. Let me go back and go back to my previous menus. I'm going to stop my recording here and let me go back. So I hope it wasn't too much motion just because my iPad is a little bit older, so the camera quality is not as great as my phone, but it's just a little bit easier to manage. So let me show you a couple more features on the mobile client app. One of them is going to be eMaps. So within eMaps, you will be able to go ahead and take a look at all of your existing maps. You can go ahead and select the camera and go to live view. You can go ahead and do direct playback from here. You can jump into different views as well. So if you do have other views, you can go ahead and take a look at those. You do also get all of your maps as you navigate through this. So you'll be able to continue to use your maps just like you regularly do so. So besides that, as I mentioned before, you do have the Google Maps feature. So you can go ahead and see your maps here and see all of your cameras on the system. So you'll be able to access that information. All right, so now that we've taken a closer look to your mobile client app and some of its capabilities, let's take a look at how everything gets configured here on the VMS in case you want to go ahead and try it. So when it comes to setup, you want to go to users. And as I mentioned before, it's really important for you to start creating individual users for everyone that's going to be accessing, because those users, you can go ahead and manage them. You can see here on your users tab that the users that you have this kind of like small mobile device next to it, that means that actually you have a smartphone or a tablet assigned to that user. So in this case, you can see how my iPad is being registered here. So I can go ahead and assign and unassign video push. If I do this, if I unassign it, my channel goes away from my device. If I assign it back, it comes back. I can go ahead and also remove my device here if I want to register a new mobile device. I can register for my specific notifications. I can receive from these different topics. And so all of these configurations can be done directly here from your configuration menu from users. Now, if you are trying to get some additional services such as the notifications, which I mentioned before, there is a notification section that we have here on the system page, and this is where you can go ahead and configure that. So that puts an end to the configurations, really. It's really straightforward. So let's go ahead and go back to the slides. So When it comes to working with ACTi, you're probably familiar with our website. Project Planner is the best place where you'll be finding most of our tools. So you can find anything from camera selection, lens calculator, mounting accessories. You'll be able to find BMS, which NVR works best for your particular requirements, how to calculate your bandwidth, storage, selecting hard drives. As I mentioned, the mobile client app will work with pretty much any NVR, so that's not really something to worry about. The number of features might vary just because different NVRs have different features, but you can access to all of them from a mobile app. And here you'll find also lists of cameras that are supported. So from here as well, if you have had any difficulty setting up your mobile client app or any of the NVR, if you have just general questions, feel free to reach out to our technical support team. We are open Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and we will be happy to assist you in any questions or issues you might have. You can also contact me directly or one of my colleagues, Joe Huda, Joe McCarthy, Gary Clark. They'll all here to assist you whenever they can. And I'll also recommend you registering on our website, acti.com. Here we'll have more information about previous and upcoming webinars, exclusive content, and also more information about our products. If you do want to have access to the recordings of today's webinar, then I'll suggest you also going into acti.com, and let me show you where you'll find that. And you'll be able to go ahead and click on the learning centers we have here, and you'll be able to go ahead and click on past webinars. So you'll see all of the previous webinars we've done. You'll be able to find the ones that already have the recording posted, and you'll be able to get the slides as well from here. We'll be sending out and distributing the slides as well. So you can expect to receive that soon after our webinar is finished. So that's about it for our webinar today. I want to thank you once more for attending this session, and I'll go ahead and review the questions from the Q&A section. So I'll let my colleagues do some final remarks.
Great, thanks, Adrian. You did a fantastic job. Gary, any parting comments you'd like to leave with?
Yeah, I'd like to say the following. You know, we've got great features on the product for the mobile app, but the benefits are really the most important to your clients. For example, pushing video, you've got the ability, for example, for a security guard to capture video from an incident or crisis that maybe your cameras can't pick up. And what that does is that increases prosecution, decreases theft, and also may help cut down insurance costs, because the more times you have incidents, the cost of your insurance is. The ability to be able to utilize the mobile app to see something that concerns you and you want to prevent. Like, for example, I have clients that use this for vagrants that, they always get near their back doors and things of that nature. Then later on, if they get too cold, they break in, causing theft, et cetera, et cetera. Well, they can see these things live and they can actually take action. School superintendents, a lot of my schools use this for their guards, also for the superintendents, capturing and sharing video, making decisions immediately, halting and stopping problems before they happen. And that may be, a person being hurt, which opens up more lawsuits. And also, some of my clients are using these to share this video with their executives, which may be managing hundreds of stores, and they need to see something immediately to make a decision. Thanks.
Great input, Gary. Joe McCarthy, any final comments?
I did not. Adrian did a great job, and like I said when we first started, this is probably one of my favorite tools that we offer.
Perfect. Thank you. Just consideration for the rest of the audience that's here. One of the things that we often find with our customers is there's two sticking points. They're newer to our software and or our feature sets, and how to explain them to their customers. So just so you know, if you do need us, Gary, Joe, myself, Adrian, we're available to help you with demos, be it a webinar or a live demo for your customers. The other thing is that stops sometimes deals our budget. And Gary, Joe, myself, Adrian can help you with that to design the system and then also to register a project to secure best pricing. So all you have to do is pick up the phone, send an email. We're there to help you with coming up with the right solutions and then closing the project as well. So with that said, Adrian, you want to hit the questions and answers, and we'll conclude that today. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys. Yes, so let's take a look at some of the questions. We do have a few. So number one, we do have a question regarding on how users can be managed and how you can go ahead and create those mounting devices. So it is actually a handshake negotiation process between the mobile client and the NVR itself. What that means is that you have to actually first add the site on your mobile client device. So if I go ahead and add a new site on my mobile app and I put this demo site nvr.acti.com with my user, then soon after that you'll see that on your user list, if I refresh it, now my device is going to show here. So you have to first add it on the mobile device for you to see the device here. Once you've added on your mobile app, now you will be able to go ahead and unmount it, or you will be able to register for video push and notifications. So those are not checked by default, so you have to actually register those. So like I said, all you got to do is just go ahead and open the app first at the NVR or CMS site, and then you'll be able to see those configurations here. The other question is what's the part number for video push to the NVR? So there is actually no license, no special license. You only need the regular ACTi camera part number. So that will be LNVR 3003. So it's really simple actually, in the sense that if you already have existing licenses, let's say for example you have an INR and you have 64 channels and you're only utilizing 40, then you have still 24 more licenses that you can use for mobile devices. So again, if you have available licenses for ACTi cameras, you don't really need more. If you do not have enough, you can go ahead and use the part number LNVR 3003. I'll go ahead and put it on the chat in case you do need it.
And Adrian, just to clarify, you need the NVR corporate edition to do the video push, correct?
That is correct, yes. Only the NVR3 corporate supports that feature. Okay, we do have another question. It says, is there a DVNS site we can use to set up the INRs so they can be accessed outside of the network or on the mobile device without using a VPN? So unfortunately, we do not have a DDNS service that can be used with our NVR3. We do have a DDNS service, but it's only for the smaller boxes. That would be for the ENRs or for cameras itself, but we don't have something that can be set up with the bigger servers. So in that case, you would have to find your own third-party DDNS service or use a public static IP address. Then you can go ahead and access it without a VPN. So it doesn't really matter which service you're using. They're all going to be providing about the same type of features, and then you will be able to access it. Note that another question that gets also frequently asked is, do I need to have any special configuration of ports to do it? So the only port that needs to be port forwarded, it's going to be the port 80, or which that's the default, that's the HTTP port. If you've changed that during your initial setup to maybe 8080 or whatever port you've been using, that's the port you'll need to do port forwarding as well. So as long as you've done port forwarding and you have a static public IP or a DDNS, you'll be able to access the system. And if you can see your cameras, you should be able to push video back from your smartphone to your NVR. Sometimes there are firewall rules that you need to take care of, but if you check with your IT administrators, you should be able to open those up really easily. Again, it's really straightforward to set up the mobile apps and do all of the configurations. So I believe that's about all the questions that we have for now. And again, if you do have any other information that you need to learn more about, feel free to reach out to us. Once again, I want to thank you so much for joining this webinar session. We have an upcoming session as well for our smaller NVRs, 4 to 32 channels at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And we do have more sessions coming next week. So again, if you're not registered on our website, please do so, and you'll get a list of the upcoming webinars. And thank you so much, and have a great day.